Do you prefer? Okay, so am I supposed to call her and tell her?
Call to order the Town of Superior Planning Commission meeting for Tuesday, August 19th, 2014. Phyllis, could you call the roll, please?
Chairperson Clint Folsom.
Here.
Commissioners, excuse me, Rita Dozell. Here. Joanne Eaton.
Here.
Phyllis Harden here. Robert Momartz.
Here.
Tom Ricker. Jim Sawtell. Attorney Liz Cross.
Here.
Planner Fred Fox.
Here. Thank you. Item number 3, public comment on consent agenda or non-agenda items. Seeing none.
That'll be brief.
We'll move on to consent agenda, the approval of the July 22nd, 2014 meeting minutes. Anyone have any comments?
I did read them, I so approve.
Okay.
I move to approve.
Okay, motion to approve by Commissioner Eaton. Have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Dozell. All those in favor?
I'll abstain because I wasn't here. So, is that okay?
Okay.
Or I did review the tape and the minutes themselves, so I can, based on that, I could vote yay.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't make a difference. Okay.
There's 4 in favor, so if you want to abstain because you weren't at the meeting, that
I'll
would
do
be
that.
fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, passes. Item number 5 is public hearing and approval of rezoning the property at 4414 McCaslin Boulevard, also known as the Shan Shan Chu property. Public hearing is now open. Is there proof of publication?
Yes, I do.
Confirm the proof of publication. Applicant presentation.
This will be very brief. Essentially, tonight we are looking at rezoning the Shan Shan Chu property, which is adjacent to McCaslin, across the west of the Discovery Parkway. Currently on the property is that home that's built into the hillside, as well as driveway access that has since been regraded for temporary secondary emergency access into Original Superior. So that work is essentially complete. It will be gated and locked during the majority of the time and just used if necessary. A little bit of background. It's our understanding that the existing home on site was constructed in the late 1970s. It was annexed as part of the Rock Creek Ranch annexation in 1987. Over the past few years, it's been identified as possible emergency access for Original Superior. It was recommended by OSAC for acquisition for open space in 2014. It was purchased by the Town of Superior on August 4th, 2014. As far as potential uses, open space natural zone district is pretty restrictive as far as the things that are allowed in there. At some point, the town may construct trail access or things of that nature, but for the most part, it will remain as is. Following the 36-month potential time frame for the prior owner to have access to the house, the town intends on removing the house and restoring it to its more natural state.
Okay, thanks. Before we do commissioner questions, we'll take public comment if you'd like to make any public comments. Okay, no public comment. So questions of the commission for staff?
I have one question, and it relates to if we zone it as open space, and then as Lisa just said, it would be very restrictive then as far as the use of that as open space. And I've heard conversations about potentially having a trail access or a potential trail head there, which would involve possibly a parking lot or some kind of a gathering place. And also, if, to use as somewhat of a natural amphitheater because it's got a nice slope to it. So if we ever wanted to do something like that outside of the designation of open space, would we have to rezone it? Or could we do those things that we talked about within the zoning of open space? And we're asking as a town for the open space zoning, and we own it. So if we ever wanted to do something a little bit more than just natural and one trail or a connection, could we do that?
So we wouldn't necessarily have to rezone it. The open space natural currently allows certain trails and restroom facilities, parking lots, things of that nature are under conditional review or special review. So those items would have to come back to the Planning Commission or the board for review and approval. Should it be determined that an additional use that is not currently allowed, you could do it two ways. You could rezone it to something less restrictive, or you could change the open space natural, the use list potentially, if that's something that the town would want to consider.
Yeah, I think that rather than go through a rezoning, I think you can consider it as being similar to other uses that are allowed, and then go through a special use permit if it had enough impact, rather than a conditional use permit. So you just do a special use permit, which is another hearing and all of that.
Right.
So you could do some things, and if they aren't specifically listed, you could try that approach if it was similar enough.
I don't have any in mind, I just heard conversations about it, and I think since we own it as a town now, we should allow for the most creative use possible, and it might change, from, I don't want it to be so restrictive like Boulder County open space, you can't do anything to that, but this is our open space, Superior, so we should be able to do that.
Our reg gives some flexibility right from the beginning.
Uh-huh. So that would be the only thing that I would like to have communicated as we move this forward to the town board, is that we also need to be open to more creative use of it, or access to it and through it to other open space that's behind it. And we don't know what that is today, but I think it will evolve over the next few years. And then as that Rogers property gets developed, there might be some way that we might want to connect or have something that allows it to be more interactive with that. So that would be the only thing I'm saying, is I just want to make sure that we aren't, well, I knew we could always change it, but if we have it so we've done it once and then we can modify it if we want to, that's great. Thank you.
Okay.
I agree.
Other questions?
I just don't want it to be too restrictive.
Okay.
Any flex space of sorts.
Okay. All right. So I'll go ahead and close the public hearing if we're done with questions, and then we can have any further discussion and then vote. Okay. Public hearing is now closed. Okay, Commissioner discussion on the item?
I think we just probably will take it. Approve it with that, some sort of commentary or whatever, however we can get that into approval. Or, I know sometimes you get recommendations or suggestions or a review of what our discussion was, but I think we said the same thing. The rest seems pretty straightforward.
Okay.
I agree.
Agreed. I don't have anything further. Okay. Do we have a motion, or do we just pass we have a resolution? Okay. Let me pull that up.
Yeah, I didn't bring that copy with me, so, but it looks like Phyllis has it, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Commissioner, do you want to read?
Sure.
Yeah.
Resolution, okay. Where are we?
Read the number and then just that heading at the very top in the bold.
Very top. Okay. Resolution number PC 9, Series 2014. Resolution of the Planning Commission of the Town of Superior recommending approval of a rezoning of the Shan Shan Chu property to open space and natural uses zone district in case number ZON-2014-1.
Okay, we have a resolution by Commissioner Eaton. All those, and a second by
I'll second it.
Commissioner Dozell. All those in favor? Passes unanimous. All right, thank you. Now we'll do staff announcements.
At this time, we are not anticipating a planning commission hearing on the September 2nd. We will let you know about the date is whatever the second meeting in September is. My apologies, I don't remember the date. At this time, we're anticipating that the board may appoint additional planning commission members, their first meeting in September. And at this, we've also discussed that your commission, at some point in the near future, should appoint or elect a vice chair. So I think it's your intent, or my understanding is to potentially do that during that second planning commission hearing, following the appointment of additional planning commission members. So we'll be in touch and keep you posted as to if that occurs.
Good. Okay, anything further? Okay,
Quick meeting.
meeting adjourned.
Wait a second.
It's almost